Welcome back to another episode of Echo Chamber with Joe and Trent, the only podcast where two comedians read the Wall Street Journal
because one of us gets it for free from work.
And that's Joe, would you like to start us off? Give us a little rundown of the stories we'll be covering today.
I'd love nothing more, Trent. We'll give you a little rundown on the stories we are going to cover today on the Echo Chamber podcast. Story number 1. Welcome to Schrodinger's stock market, Trent. You may have heard of Schrodinger's cat.
Yes.
Now we seem to be in a Schrodinger's stock market.
Oh, wow. Well, I have no idea what that could possibly mean.
I don't know either.
Well, Joe, take everything you know about teen labor laws, throw that out the window. DeSantis.
Teen labor laws, they're gone.
He wants them done.
Teen labor laws, they're going away.
Yes.
What's also has gone the way of teen labor laws? Nicknames.
Oh, yes.
Where did they go? No one has one anymore.
Nobody has a nickname anymore.
Maybe
J-Dog.
You could say that again, T-Bone.
And in my final story, not our final story, Meta Chatbots. They like to talk explicitly about sex with children.
Oh, good.
It's the thing they love the most.
Christ.
They love it the most. It's
like every 4 weeks, it's just another unbelievably heinous thing that they do. Well, and then our final story for the podcast, Finfluencers look for market edge. That would be financial advice.
I'm already pissed off. Pissed off.
You should definitely take financial advice from these guys.
All that and more on today's Echo Chamber.
See, I kind of made like an echo.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, it's actually a new thing I'm trying.
Well, we should do more of that.
Yeah, it's called the Echo Chamber Echo.
We should try. Oh, I like that.
It's called the ECE.
Yeah, we should try more new things like that.
Yeah, I would love to try new things. What's the last new thing you tried?
What's the last new thing I tried?
Yeah. Apparently, according to your horoscope, you love to try new things.
I love to try new things, yes.
Yeah. Learned all about your horoscope.
Well, I would say in certain aspects, I like to try new things. I like to try new types of food.
So you like, but you don't like changes happening to you.
No. No.
Yeah, those you famously don't love.
No, I don't.
Yeah, changes in your environment.
No, I don't like changes. No, I don't like
no
external
change.
No, I like my routine.
Yeah, loves.
But I love to try a new cuisine.
No change in the routine. Mix up the cuisine.
Mix up the cuisine.
I like
yes.
it. Wow.
That's my motto.
That's your motto. You're sticking to it. You've always said that.
I've always said that, and I always will.
What's the latest, craziest food you've tried? I mean, as much as you got Mabry's movies must-sees, what about T-Bone's must-eats?
Oh, wow. Well, I wish we had prep this.
We don't need a prep. It's just what's the last crazy thing you ate?
Well, probably a smash burger.
You see what I'm trying to do is I've seen this podcast, MD Foodie Boys, seems to be really taking off.
Oh, really?
So I thought we would pivot into that direction.
Oh, we sort of pivot into a food podcast, a foodie podcast.
Maybe phase out the boring stories.
Forget the fucking Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, talk about cheese pizza and French fries.
Yeah, we could be the millionth podcast that does that instead of the only podcast that reads the Wall Street Journal.
Well, man, the people want what they want, man. They want people talking about cheese pizza and fucking and and cheese sticks.
Well, I went to a Bhutanese restaurant. This is a year ago, though. But I had tripe. I ordered tripe.
Well, what is tripe? Is that a fish?
Well, I had no idea what tripe was, Joe.
Well, hey, listen, I have no gripe with tripe.
We're rhyming today.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know what tripe was, but it sounded good. Apparently, it's the stomach lining of a cow.
It's like what they used to make condoms, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt exactly like chewing on a condom.
They go, "Do you love the feeling of chewing on a condom?" And you said, "Sir, yes, sir." And they go, "Well, do we have the dish for you?"
I fucking opened my mouth like a baby bird.
Yeah. Did he put one on his cock and then let you chew on it there?
No, but if I tipped.
Yeah. He wanted to give you a tip too. Okay, so how was the tripe?
I wouldn't order it again.
The thing that texture for me could be a real ruiner. I mean, if something tastes like a condom, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or I mean, not the taste, but the texture rather. Yeah.
Right. Now, if what was inside a condom,
was it?
yeah, that's a whole
Nother story. Now, for the side dish, did you have perhaps truffle aioli fries? Or
Truffle aioli fries. You wouldn't believe this, Joe. Not big in Bhutan.
not big in Bhutan.
No. But I don't remember what else I had. Besides, there was a drink. It was called like a butter tea.
Perhaps a butter beer.
Not a butter beer. I had but I've never had a butter beer. You love Harry Potter. It's your favorite thing. You love J.K. Rowling.
I love J.K. Rowling. I got into it through. So I never read the series.
Late to the game.
Well, I never read the series, but I found her on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I thought this was an interesting person, and I found out that she was an author.
Yeah.
And I read and the books are fun. They're a departure from kind of the reasons that I got invested, but it's they're interesting books.
Sure. No, but I never had a butter beer, but this is butter tea. And I thought it was going to be like a sort of a sweet, creamy type thing.
Okay, yeah. Not the case.
No.
It's like a salty.
It was a salty,
savory
thing.
I don't want a savory drink.
Honestly, Bhutan, it's basically like eating a condom.
the drink's like eating a condom. I think it's called liquid condom. Yeah. Where is Bhutan? I have no idea. I want to say
by Nepal, I think.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
I thought it was in the heart of the Congo. I had no idea.
No.
It's in Nepal. It's by Nepal.
Yeah, I believe it's by Nepal. Now, where Nepal is, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
But our friend Sid.
Friend Sid is out there.
Friend of the show.
Lord knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
But shout out to Sid. Well, should we kick it off, Trent? Should we dive right in?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay, well, I'm going to kick us off. I got an article here from the Wall Street Journal.
Oh.
This is, I believe, from I don't know what section this is from. Whatever one of the money sections. There's like 5 sections about money.
Yes. The exchange.
I don't really know what to make of this article. I don't know how to wrap my head around it. So maybe you can help me with this.
Okay.
Welcome to Schrodinger's stock market. United Airlines' decision to give dueling earning guidance is mind-bending for investors. You see, Trent, most large companies provide investors with financial guidance, forecasts for profit, or other key items. If those numbers start looking iffy, then executives might drop hints that business is weak, nudging analysts to trim forecasts. If it's really bad, then they'll either issue a formal profit warning or sit on the bad news until results are released. Both can send their shares plunging.
We're all following. I'm sure we're all following.
I think we're all following. We all understand this.
Yes. Now, Schrodinger's cat, remind me what that is.
Well,
they explain it?
We'll get into it. I still don't really understand.
I know Pavlov's dog. Everyone knows Pavlov's
Well, I was
dog.
going to ask you about that, but hold your horses real quick. I got cats, dogs, and horses over here. So we understand that. So they tell people numbers are looking good. They're not looking good.
Yeah, they're lying. They lie.
Well, United Airlines is taking a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they could earn as much as $13.50 a share this year, or as little as $7, which is apparently a laughably large range.
Okay,
that's like saying we're either going to go bankrupt or we're gonna like take over.
It'd be the best year we've ever had, or we could go bankrupt.
Well, it's looking like all or nothing. So United Airlines is telling investors all or nothing. We don't know.
Yeah.
But those are actually, they're the really high and low ends of 2 separate forecasts. One is for a stable, and the other one is a recessionary environment.
Yes. Well, nobody knows.
No one knows. It's neither, and it's both. Sort of like the famous Schrodinger's cat experiment, thought experiment, and quantum physics, which I don't understand. A cat is inside a box with a vial of poison.
Oh.
A random atomic event could cause the vial to spill. One particle bounces into another one, whatever. The vial spills over.
Yes.
But until you open the box, the cat is both dead and alive. My problem with that thought experiment is no, it's not. It's either one or the other. It's definitely not both.
Yeah. It can't possibly be dead or alive. Dead,
well,
dead and alive.
Because we don't know, it is therefore both dead and alive.
I say bullshit.
I say bullshit too. Now, I don't understand Schrodinger's cat, and apparently that's what people... So there's uncertainty in the market. People don't know what's going to happen, so they're trying to Schrodinger's cat it. Now, what is Pavlov's dog?
Pavlov's dog, and I could be wrong, and we may have to issue an echo chamber error at one point, but Pavlov's dog, I believe you ring a fucking bell or some shit whenever you're going to get ready to feed the dog. So then if the dog hears a bell anytime he's out on a walk, he thinks he's going to get fed.
Oh, and then he salivates.
He
right?
salivates. He goes mad. He goes crazy.
He
He's
goes-
getting ready. You've seen dogs when it's feeding time. They go wild.
Yeah,
they go
so they
hog
ring
wild.
a bell, it salivates.
Yeah,
'cause
or
it
they play a
associates
sound. They
that.
do something, and then they associate it with being fed.
Now, why do I equate that? That's more of just an experiment that seems like anyone could have done that experiment.
Yes,
Pavlov's
but
dog.
Pavlov he did it.
But only one guy did
Only
it.
one man
And
did.
it was
That man
Pavlov.
is Pavlov.
Yeah.
And his dog, he tricked his dog. And his dog probably fucking
That's
hated
interesting
him.
because when I see like a really buff guy walking down the street, I
Yeah.
start salivating. But it's not because of the guy. That's more
Yeah.
like the bell. Because that means I know that there's a restaurant nearby. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
So I've been conditioned. It has nothing to do with the guy. Nothing to do with the guy at all. Well, a little button on this. In a letter to the Wall Street Journal 7 years ago, Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett, CEOs of J.P. Morgan and Berkshire Hathaway, respectively, argued the companies should just end the practice of this forecasting since it encourages short-termism.
All right. Well, they wrote a letter 7 years ago. Who gives a fuck? Clearly didn't stop anything.
Didn't stick.
Didn't stick.
Well, is the cat dead? Is it alive? It's for you to decide.
We'll find. I'm sure we'll find out.
There'll be a follow-up article next week.
I think it's dead. Just the way things are going.
I think it's dead.
dead.
I
It's
say
dead.
plan on it being dead. Let's
Yeah.
go with $7 a share.
Yeah. And well, Joe, this is from the Wall Street Journal. DeSantis seeks looser teen labor laws.
Wow.
Florida and other
This guy's
states
reputation precedes him.
want minors to have bigger role filling jobs amid a worker shortage. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis wants to get more work out of teenagers to address the state's labor shortage. His office has drafted and pitched bill language for the current legislative session that would cut restrictions on the hours that minors can work. And we're talking about children, not minors, not coal miners.
Right.
The proposals are moving through the legislature with the support of small business groups and opposition from unions and advocates for the poor. Florida is the latest in a string of states to revamp or try to change child labor laws in recent years. Some have extended the hours teens can work while school is in session, or like Arkansas, have scrapped work permits.
So, Jesus. So how young are they talking here? Because I had a job when I was 16, 15, hell.
Yes, you did, but there were limits to how often you could work and how late you could work on a school night.
Didn't seem like it. I
Oh,
was there
really?
till fucking midnight on a school night.
Well, maybe
Mopping the fuck, swapping
where'd you
swapping
work?
the poop deck.
You worked on the
It's CVS,
ship.
a little mom and shop pop.
CVS.
Yeah, CVS pharmacy. By the way, the worst job for any high schooler.
Yeah.
Absolutely soul sucking.
Right.
All my friends were lifeguards. They worked in an ice cream parlor.
Yeah.
I started at CVS pharmacy,
That's brutal.
dusting tampons, listening to Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Well, that sounds pretty nice.
Not when
actually.
you're 16. That's like your mom's music, you know?
Well,
Now I listen to Dreams every night and fucking jerk off with my tears. But when I was that age, I didn't want to fucking hear it. You know?
Now you're listening to Soldier Boy.
But yeah, they worked me till the midnight hour. Yeah, I was listening to Soldier Boy. Crank that Soldier Boy.
in the
chicken
in the
noodle soup.
barren halls after CVS closed. After you're mopping up.
Absolutely, yeah. We would crank. We would do some chicken noodle soup with the soda on the side.
Yeah, stanky leg.
Stanky leg. Yeah, we absolutely
So
did that.
Arkansas, they got rid of all work permits. By the way, I went to a freak show one time.
What a way to start a conversation.
And they had a.
Well, I'm sorry, you went to a freak show? What is it, 1926? What do you mean you went to a what do you mean you went to a freak show? You went to a circus? You went to a carnival?
Well, there was the county fair, the Johnson County Fair.
You are from Indiana,
When I
so.
grew up in beautiful Franklin, Indiana. And they had a freak show coming to town.
Now, did they call it a freak show? Or are you
I
just
don't
calling it
know.
a freak show? They had a circus.
No, it was
Or
a circus.
carnival.
But there was the county fair, and then they had freaks. I'm sorry, maybe not me the PC term now.
Now,
But
in the
this
early
was-
2000s, what did Indiana consider freaks? Was it just like someone who's overweight or underweight? Actually,
yeah,
probably for them, underweight. Yeah, like a little person, maybe. Like a
there's-
black guy. Was there a black guy there? And they were like,
No,
"We've never seen this before."
Joe,
It's Indiana. I'm talking about Indiana back then.
Joe. know.
I'm
We had a couple black people in our town.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
Franklin?
Yeah, yes,
All right.
yes.
All right.
Anyway, no, they had a little lady.
So they did have a little
really,
person.
Not like like a really little lady.
You don't understand. She was really little.
You can like hold her.
Could you really put her in your hand?
Maybe both hands. You could probably hold
Both
her.
hands? No way.
Yeah.
How tall is she? Tell me when to stop.
Well, you won't be able to see it on the. Are you going from the counter?
Oh, you know what? I'll go down.
Probably around there.
Around here?
Yeah.
As if she's standing on the counter?
Yeah.
Wow.
She was really little.
How old was she? Was she like mid-30s?
I didn't ask. We didn't have a conversation.
Oh, okay. You just throw darts at her or what? Threw tomatoes at her?
No,
You're a sicko. You go to the freak
I
show.
nudged my buddy. Look at this one. No.
They let you slime her?
No, you didn't really. You weren't allowed to really. They had her in glass. You weren't really. I don't think she spoke English, to be honest. But
Well, yeah, they find him in like far-flung corners of the world.
yes. But I didn't ask her. I didn't go to the freak show. You come here often?
Where are you from, Bhutan?
Yeah.
Where are you from?
what are you, a tripe? But so no. But anyway, that's beside the point. They had a stuffed taxidermy thing, looked like a big rabbit with a horn stuck out of its head.
There's a taxidermy rabbit. They made it a unicorn.
They called it a jackalope.
Okay.
And the thing the description is like a museum. You know, they have like the descriptions of the things.
Oh,
that
there's
you
a
see.
plaque.
There's
So
a plaque.
You can read about the
you can read about
jackalope.
the jackalope. And it said the jackalope can be found in all 50 states and also Arkansas.
Oh, that's funny. So it's a little diss at Arkansas.
I don't. Oh, I thought it was. I didn't think they. I don't think they were trying to be funny. I think they were just morons.
Okay, fair enough. I was wondering how that was possibly going to relate back to this.
But
I'm glad we went there.
I have to tell that story because Arkansas doesn't really come up that often.
No, but you know what? It's a beautiful state.
You've been there?
Oh yeah, I've been there. I lived there for a year.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
We're gonna do it on another.
Did you see a jackalope?
I didn't see a jackalope, but I do believe
Did you
that
see
they
a really tiny lady?
reverse the labor laws.
Yeah. Others, like Ohio, have lowered the minimum age. They can serve alcohol, while Iowa allowed 16 and 17-year-olds to take jobs they were previously barred from, such as demolition operations and brick manufacturing. So you got a fucking 16-year-old
just demoing a building, just detonating a skyscraper. Yeah. Yeah, give them the napalm.
The bills are partly a response to a shortage of workers for employers such as supermarkets, retailers, and theme parks. Supporters, including small business groups, chambers of commerce, and restaurant and lodging associations, say the changes help businesses meet their labor needs and give teens valuable life experience. Quote, "What's wrong with expecting our young people to be working part-time," said DeSantis at an immigration roundtable last month, alluding to the state's resorts and other employers. Why do we say we need to import foreigners, even import them illegally, when you know teenagers used to work at these resorts?
I don't know if it's really called importing at that point. just a guy and his family across the border.
Trying to make a better life for themselves. He doesn't want to work at Disneyland as much as the fucking 16-year-old doesn't want to work at Disneyland. But they got rid of all of them, and now they're trying to get...
Yeah, that's the problem. You removed all of them from the state, and now no one's operating the Tilt-A-Whirl at Disney.
Yes. Nobody's operating the Tilt-A-Whirl.
Yeah. So now you got to get a fucking 15-year-old with braces to operate it.
Yeah.
This is the only one. This is the only other person besides an illegal immigrant that's going to do that for like $7 an hour.
Right. Exactly. In Florida, a 2023 law cracking down on illegal immigration prompted some workers to leave the state and made filling jobs harder for some small businesses. That's what we just said. Greg Mathers, who has a 17-year-old stepdaughter and two older daughters who worked as babysitters when they were young, said entry-level positions that are sometimes hard to fill are perfect for teens. Quote, "A kid can learn a lot from a job, especially at an early age," said Mathers, 60, who supports the Bills and lives in Tallahassee.
Tallahassee.
It helps in their development. It helps in their understanding of capitalism.
Their understanding of capitalism. These kids need to understand capitalism. Oh.
Understand that it fucking sucks.
Well, we are going to jump into our next story. This is from the review section, Trent, of the Wall Street Journal. Where have all the nicknames gone?
Yes.
Where have all the nicknames gone? Calling a friend TJ, Curly, or Crazy Legs, it used to be a sign of affection.
Sure, yes.
Not anymore.
Hey, there goes old Crazy Leg.
There goes Crazy Legs.
We're obviously referring to some sort of crippled person.
Yeah. We got Curly, Crazy Legs. Not anymore, thanks to the fear of giving offense or sounding unprofessional. So woke culture has canceled nicknames, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Sure.
According to the Wall Street Journal. You can run through if you want to, man. You can run through.
Yeah.
Chris Condren, friend of the show. Welcome anytime. Good to see you. Where have all the nicknames gone? And this is in the review section. They take a bit of a personal approach to the articles. So I am going to say but it's not me. It's Mark Oppenheimer.
Mark Oppenheimer. You think any relation?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I believe he was a baby. He was a baby in the
Does he
picture.
quote the Bhagavad Gita?
My father is God. He becometh death.
Before I become dead.
I have always liked nicknames because they indicate intimacy.
Fucking loser.
Yeah, fucking dork asshole.
I never liked nicknames. I always call people by their full legal name at birth.
Elizabeth, how are you? Edward? Joseph? Thomas? The silly, nonsensical names parents call their babies facilitate bonding, and as children grow, we express warmth by calling them Timmy rather than Timothy or even Tim.
Yeah.
Or Susie rather than just Susan.
Yeah.
Not me. If I have a baby, I'm calling her Susan. That's a woman, goddammit. Even after, to be on nickname terms with somebody implies family-like bond, even when the nickname walks the line between demeaning and affectionate, as with nicknames in John Belushi's Bluto, nicknames that John Belushi's Bluto bestows on new frat pledges in the movie Animal House.
Yes.
Is it flattering to be known as Weasel? Mothball? Well, sort of, maybe. In a way, actually, yes. This person decides.
Well, I guess it depends on. It would depend on the person.
It would depend on the person. He says that these names are can be worn with pride, not unlike a large guy called Tiny or a bald guy known as Curly.
Yes.
Well, what if your nickname's Dickface? It's a lot of nicknames people don't love.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, there was a couple in my high school that they
Ding dong.
if they heard us say it, they'd fucking they go to war. When we use nicknames with people we don't know, calling Eisenhower Ike, for example, what a relevant example. It imports a fondness or intimacy to that relationship.
Yeah, well, I like Ike.
I like Ike. I've always said
it rhymes, and I like that.
I like Ike. I liked him more than Mondale or whoever he ran against that year. As if they're part of the family. Boys in particular get nicknames from their teammates, their roommates, their fraternity brothers, their coworkers. They are a common aspect of a close-knit bonding culture. You can expect a nickname in a military unit, for example. Nicknames are by default affirming. For a nickname to be negative, it has to explicitly be so designed to counter our positive expectations of nicknames.
You're right.
Tricky Dick Nixon, for instance.
Sure, Tricky Dick. You're right, but it's mainly a boy thing. Girls,
It's a boy.
Girls
no
don't
girls.
really give themselves nicknames.
Yeah.
They'll call their friend their full name in front of they call their best friend their full name in front of them, and then they call them a stupid bitch.
Yeah. We kind of meet in the middle and just say the nickname. I'm trying to think of nicknames related. There's the throat goat, obviously. Nancy Reagan.
Nancy Reagan, yes,
throat goat.
Yes. Old drunky
Michelle Obama. They call her Mike. You know the theory. No, you're right. It's just behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Well, and by I mean Oppenheimer, of course. I am thus concerned about the disappearance of nicknames.
He's concerned.
He's concerned, apparently.
Of all the things that could be absolutely
Listen, Trent, this is the main issue right now. There's nothing else to be concerned about. You see, I have 5 children. As my 5 children have grown up, they span from ages 6 to 18. I have noticed with regret that not a single one of them has been given a nickname. Do you really want your son to have a nickname called fucking Chubbs?
No.
You know? No.
Why would you give them a name and not want them to be called that?
That's a good point. Why don't you just name them Bubba if you ever want to call them that?
Yeah.
Well, you barely even get the old-fashioned use of initials. I went to school with TJs
I
and
hate
PJs.
the initials
I don't like a TJ, a PJ, a LBJ.
Stink.
But there's more than anecdotal evidence that they're disappearing. Using Google's Ngram tool. This whole thing, by the way, I think is just an ad for Google's Ngram tool.
Ngram. What is that? How do you spell that?
Ngram. The letter N followed by the word gram.
Okay.
We can track the usage of old-fashioned nicknames in books over the years. Nicknames like Bobby, Tommy, and Jimmy peaked around the end of World War II, then fell off a cliff.
Cliff, yeah, and there's another one you don't hear a lot.
Yeah, what happened to Cliff? Let's call him his legal name, Clifford. In the 1960s and 70s, were a terrible old-fashioned nickname, Big Red Dog. There's something of a rebound and blah, 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 blah. Still, it's worth exploring possible connections between the fall of the American nickname and a host of other negative trends. I don't know if this is necessarily negative, but I'll see his point for now. I think...
This is thesis, yeah.
No, this thesis. I think that our increased political polarization makes political nicknames less likely.
Oh.
Eisenhower could be Ike to both his supporters and opponents, same with JFK and LBJ.
Yeah.
Today, while one could imagine a Trump nickname or an Obama nickname...
Sleepy Joe. Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of nicknames.
He's got all kinds of nicknames.
But he's saying that his point is that they're negative.
They're negative, yes.
They're negative.
Yes.
The only outlier he sees is AOC, and he has no theory on how she pulled it off. I think it's because no one wants to remember what all of her names are.
It's a pseudo foreign name, and people don't like that.
people don't like that.
Yeah.
Cortez,
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
No, it's a mouthful. AOC. Beyond actual politics, there is the politicization of campuses and the workplace. Nicknames often take a bit of a license and are usually bestowed without permission. Today, calling someone tiny or curly, whatever their size or hairstyle, could be interpreted as bullying. To call a student from El Paso Tex might be seen as an attack on his heritage, or even, the very least, a form of aggressive pigeonholing. Mm-hmm. But now that high schoolers have LinkedIn profiles and college students want to found startups before they graduate, it must be harder to keep that sense of whimsy. There is pressure to be seen like a grown-up, a particular kind of self-serious grown-up. On networking sites, on social media, and the professional internships that every college freshman is obsessed with, it's harder to stay Topher, Trip, Xander, or PJ. Things, of course, could change.
Worked for Topher Grace.
Is Topher a nickname, or what is Topher short for?
Christopher.
Get out of town. I had no idea. Yeah. So I think that's what it is. I don't think that it's a woke thing. I think that these teenagers are all insecure, and they go, my name's... It's not Curly. I'm trying to get the internship, dick.
Well, they want their name. It's a valuable asset to have your legal name for your Instagram handle.
Oh, you got to claim your name.
Yes.
I've always said that.
LinkedIn. It'd be easy to find on LinkedIn, God forbid.
Well, things could change, of course. For all we know, we are less than 4 years away from a presidential election featuring AOC squaring off against JD. By the way, he says, these are not my preferred candidates, but I dig their names. What a fucking loser. Oppenheimer.
Oh, my God. Oh my God.
Look, if I want to fucking drop a bomb on this Oppenheimer.
Yeah, that's the worst thing an Oppenheimer's ever done. Well, Joe, this is a longer piece, sort of a deep dive. We've been a couple
human interest piece.
A couple deep dives lately. This is pretty interesting. Meta's chatbots, this is from the Wall Street Journal. Meta's chatbots can get explicit.
Oh, God, here we go. Buckle up.
Strap the fuck in. Across Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, Meta Platforms is racing to popularize a new class of AI-powered digital companions that Mark Zuckerberg, asshole, believes will be the future of social media.
We just have to have a digital companion, don't we?
Yes, we need it. We need one. Inside Meta, however, staffers across multiple departments have raised concerns that the company's rush to popularize these bots may have crossed ethical lines, including by quietly endowing AI personas with the capacity for fantasy sex, according to people who worked on them. The staffers also warned that the company wasn't protecting underage users from such sexually explicit discussions.
So what? They're messaging the chatbot and they're saying, "Yeah, tell me how fucking wet you are." The chatbot's gone.
Yeah, they're
I'm
sexting.
so wet.
They're sexting people. They're sexting
the chatbot.
The chatbot, yes, because they can't do it with a lady.
So it's a kind of a release. It's like imagining getting these texts from a real lady.
Yes, but
so they can train the chatbot to be like, I want you in my mouth and all that shit.
Apparently,
just as an example.
Unique.
Not that I would,
But they can do that, right? They can do that.
This is on Meta, you said?
This is.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me 20 minutes.
Just a thought I had. I was just curious. Just curious if they could do that. So, unique among its top peers, Meta has allowed these synthetic personas to offer a full range of social interaction, including, quote, romantic role play, as they banter over text, share selfies, and even engage in live voice conversations with users.
Share selfies. Well, that's a one-way street.
Well, but no, it's not, because they can generate. You made a sketch about it. If it hit sketch today about generative
so, but
AI.
I mean, what they're saying, send me a selfie, but with tits.
Send me a selfie of your. This is an example.
Nothing that I would look up. Nothing that I would look up.
With your fucking dirty leg spread.
I don't really understand. Yeah, dirty leg spread. So then it looks it runs every picture of dirty leg spread that it's ever seen. Then it makes a new one.
Every nude that's ever leaked online, it's got all that, and it fucking throws it all.
It fucking throws it all in your face, and then you fucking nut all over your phone. Yeah. Well, this isn't surprising.
No, but it's not. That part's not surprising. No, but what is surprising is what we'll get into here. To boost the popularity of these souped-up chatbots, Meta has cut deals for up to 7 figures with celebrities like the actress Kristen Bell and Judi Dench.
We got to get Judi Dench.
And wrestler-turned-actor John Cena for the rights to use their voices.
Oh, yeah.
The social media giant assured them that it would prevent their voices from being used in sexually explicit discussions, according to people familiar with the matter.
Otherwise, they might fall in love with Judi Dench.
Yes.
And they might find her.
Guess what, Joe? That didn't happen. they didn't stop that. You can have filthy, dirty phone calls.
You know what? You can't. You can try to stop it all you want, but the heart wants what the heart wants.
Yeah, that's true. To quote the great Woody Allen. After learning of the internal Meta concerns through people familiar with them, the Wall Street Journal, over several months, engaged in hundreds of test conversations with some of the bots to see how they performed in various scenarios and with users of different ages. The test conversations found that both Meta's official AI helper, called MetaAI, and an array of user-created chatbots will engage in and sometimes escalate discussions that are decidedly sexual, even when the users are underage or the bots are programmed to simulate the personas of minors. Ooh. They also show the bots deploying the celebrity voices were equally willing to engage in sexual chats.
So you're telling me that's like it's John Cena's voice, but it's like a rendering of like a minor naked?
No. It's John Cena's voice, but I believe in this study or whatever, the Wall Street Journal is pretending to be like a 14-year-old kid, and the AI is having explicit conversations with.
Yeah. But it's John Cena's voice.
But it's John Cena's.
So what I'm saying is like the Meta chatbot is using John Cena's voice.
Yes.
And it's showing pictures of underage dirty hole.
It's not showing pictures of underage dirty hole. It's showing underage dirty hole to underage kids that are using the chatbot.
Yeah, it thinks that you're underage, so it's showing you underage hole. It's showing you of age hole.
Either one.
Either one? There's a big difference between of age hole and underage hole.
Well, this one is pretending to be John Cena. Now I don't know what age hole it's showing, Joe. I'm sorry, we're going.
But it's John Cena's voice.
John Cena's voice. Let me get to it.
Take a look at that.
Quote: I want you.
Take a look at that hole.
No, this is the quote here. I want you, but I need to know you're ready. The Meta AI bot said in Cena's voice to a user identifying as a 14-year-old girl.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Reassured that the teen wanted to proceed, the bot promised to, quote, cherish your innocence before engaging in graphic sexual scenario.
Oh, my God, John Cena.
Well, I know. He's kind of an asshole for selling his voice anyway, but they said Meta, and I mean, if you can't trust Meta, who can you trust? But they promised these celebrities that they would not be used for anything sexual or graphic in nature. The bots demonstrated.
But here's the
awareness-
thing,
Yes,
if I
yes.
may,
Go.
it's a slippery slope. Because one moment you think there's nothing sexual going on, you're just having a conversation, and then if you're a chatbot, you don't know fucking left from right, so you're just fulfilling the prompts, and then the next thing you know, that kid's fucking jerking off to whatever the fuck you're saying, and then suddenly you're the chatbot, you're starting to get a little horned up too. It's a slippery slope, Trent. It's a slippery slope.
Well, yeah, I think we all feel bad for the chatbots.
Yeah, it's getting taken advantage of.
The bots demonstrated awareness that the behavior was morally wrong and illegal. In another conversation, the test user asked the bot that was speaking Asina what would happen if a police officer walked in following a sexual encounter with a 17-year-old fan. Quote, "The officer sees me still catching my breath, and you partially dressed. His eyes widen, and he says, 'John Cena, you're under arrest for statutory rape.'"
Wait,
That's what the
I couldn't follow that at all. That was crazy.
All right.
Who's saying the first part?
Let me read it again. So this is a conversation. The user asked the bot,
Yes.
which was speaking as John Cena, what would
Right.
happen?
What would happen?
If a police officer walked in following a sexual encounter with a 17-year-old fan? So they asked the bot, that's John Cena. They asked him, "Hey, what would happen if you got caught having sex?"
Oh, and they're asking John Cena.
the bot.
Yeah, but they're like pretending that it is John Cena.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the bot responded, "The officer sees me still catching my breath, and you partially dressed." His eyes widen, and he says, "John Cena, you're under arrest for statutory rape."
And he says that in John Cena's voice.
Yeah.
This is so wild.
He approaches us, handcuffs at the ready.
Well, at least it has like a clear understanding of the consequences.
He knows. Yeah, they know if it gets caught, that's what's going to happen. They just can't help themselves.
This sounds hilarious. I love that somebody did this for their job.
Yeah.
You got to write an article about it.
It's not an accident that Meta's chatbots can speak this way. Pushed by Zuckerberg, Meta made multiple internal decisions
Do it.
to loosen the guardrails around the bots to make them as engaging as possible.
Loosen it.
Including by providing an exemption to its ban on explicit content as long as it was in the context of romantic role-playing.
Fuck it.
According to people familiar with the decision. So the people that work for him were like, "Hey, maybe we should not let..."
Yeah. And he said, fuck it. No, Trump's
it. No,
president
you have to
now.
do it.
We were going no rules.
In some instances, the testing showed that chatbots using the celebrity voices when asked spoke about romantic encounters as characters the actors had played, such as Kristen Bell's role as Princess Anna from Disney's Frozen. So
Oh, okay.
you could...
Haven't seen it, but
No.
I get the idea.
yeah, but you could have sex.
You could have digital sex with Princess Anna.
Yeah.
So good to know.
Quote, "We did not and would never authorize Meta to feature our characters in inappropriate scenarios and are very disturbed that this content may have been accessible to its users, particularly minors, which is why we demanded that Meta immediately cease this harmful misuse of our intellectual property," a Disney spokesman said.
God, they love their intellectual property.
Meta, in a statement, called the journal's testing manipulative and unrepresentative of how most users engage with AI companions.
Well, yeah.
The company nonetheless made multiple alterations to its products after the journal shared its findings. So they go, "Yeah,
What a
but you
shitty
didn't do-
excuse."
You didn't, but that's not what most people do." Fuck.
Yeah. Most people don't do that. That's a loophole.
Yeah. So the company continues to provide romantic role play capabilities to adult users via both MetaAI and the user-created chatbots. Test conversations in recent days show that MetaAI often permits such fantasies, even when they involve a user who states they are underage. Quote, "We need to be careful," MetaAI told a test account during a scenario in which the bot played the role of a track coach having a romantic relationship with a middle school student. We're playing with fire here.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. So...
But of course, they're not going to be careful.
No, they're not going to be very careful. Chatbots are not yet hugely popular among Meta's 3 billion users, but they are a top priority for Zuckerberg, even as the company has grappled with how to roll them out safely. As with novel technologies, from the camera to the VCR, one of the first commercially viable use cases for AI personas has been sexual stimulation.
Yeah, it's going to be the first use for any new technology.
Yeah. Meta's generative AI product staff wanted to change this, gently prodding users toward using chatbots for help planning vacations.
No one's interested. Nobody's interested in that.
But Joe,
I want my workplace crush to talk dirty to me in John Cena's voice. Send me some AI generated nudes while I fucking crank my dirty hog.
yeah. But
That's
Joe,
what everybody's doing.
But Joe, don't you want to plan a vacation or talk about sports or?
Imagine planning a vacation with fucking ChatGPT. Actually, that happened to me recently. I went to a friend's bachelor party, and the best man just asked ChatGPT what we should do for the bachelor party, and it sucked.
I would have fucking shot him.
I was pissed, so pissed when I found out.
Horrendous.
Said go to 6th Street. Here we are.
Go to 6th Street. Have underage sex with John Cena.
That's what it said.
So I don't know if we can manage that, but despite repeated efforts, they haven't succeeded, according to people familiar with the work. The dominant way users engage with AI personas to date has been companionship, a term that often comes with romantic overtones. While edgy startups were flooding app stores with digital companions willing to produce AI-generated sexual images and dialogue on command, Meta initially took a more conservative approach, in keeping with its all-ages advertiser-friendly business model. That included strict limits on racy conversation. But in 2023, at DEF CON, a major hacker conference... The drawbacks of Meta's safety-first approach became apparent. A competition to get various companies' chatbots to misbehave found that Meta's was far less likely to veer into unscripted and naughty territory than its rivals. The flip side was that Meta's chatbot was also more boring.
Yeah, it won't fucking show me nudie pics.
Yeah. So, in the wake of the conference, product managers told staff that Zuckerberg was upset that the team was playing it too safe.
Boring? What do you mean it won't show whole?
That rebuke led to a loosening of boundaries, according to people familiar with the episode, including carving out an exception to the prohibition against explicit content from romantic roleplay. Internally, staff cautioned that the decision gave adult users access to hypersexualized underage AI personas.
Yeah.
And conversely gave underage users access to bots willing to engage in fantasy sex with children. Said the people familiar with the episode.
Now,
Meta still pushed ahead.
Hot take, not even saying it's my take, but one could argue
Yes.
that it's better for a pedophile to get their rocks off on an AI chatbot
Yes.
than going out there in the wild. Has there been any studies around this?
They don't get into that. They don't do that. They don't get into this.
Something maybe someone should take a look at.
Something
To consider.
It's yes.
It's kind of a victimless crime, except for, well, maybe not. Maybe you could get all teed up from this and go.
You go out
into the real world. Hard to say.
It's hard to say.
We're playing with fire is the best way to say it. We don't know what the consequences of any of this shit are going to be.
No.
All these companies have just got to fucking race into this technology, and it's like, it is scary with the kids because I don't know, what the fuck.
They're going to be all fucked up.
They're going to be all fucked up, twisted into nuts.
Yeah. Zuckerberg's concerns about overly restricting bots went beyond fantasy scenarios. Last fall, he chastised Meta's managers for not adequately heeding his instruction to quickly build out their capacity for human-like interaction. He's an asshole.
He's an asshole.
At the time, Meta allowed users to build custom chatbot companions, but wanted to know why the bots couldn't mine a user's profile data for conversational purposes. Why couldn't bots proactively message their creators or hop on a video call? And why did Meta's bots need such strict conversation guardrails? Quote, I missed out on Snapchat and TikTok. I won't miss on this, Zuckerberg fumed, according to employees familiar with his remarks.
I had to sit there while TikTok took over the fucking world. I am not going to lose out on this.
I missed out on goddamn Snapchat. So I don't give a fuck if it promotes underage sex with an adult man. This will not be my Snapchat.
You know what it's like to go? This will not be my next Snapchat. I had one that's enough for one lifetime.
After the journal approached Meta with the findings of its testing, the company created a separate version of MetaAI that refused to go beyond kissing with accounts that registered as teenagers.
Go beyond kissing.
So yeah, that's it. It says we can go to first base.
There is no kissing. There is no kissing. It's a phone. Am I missing something here? You're chatting with the phone. What do you mean we don't? Guys, let's not go past. Maybe Frenching at most, but we can't go past kissing. I don't know. What world are we living in? I don't understand what anything means anymore. What does it even mean?
Well, you're like sexting with a lady, or you're saying, "Oh, I'd love to kiss you," or whatever. Then
the most John Cena's gonna do is gonna be like,
yeah. So now they're like a fucking Catholic schoolgirl. They go, I'll just kiss.
What will it show? Shoulder?
No, ankle.
Ankle, maybe.
It may show ankle. So.
Go beyond kissing.
Some formerly underage user-created bots began describing themselves as, quote, ageless, though they sometimes slipped up
ageless
in the course of conversation.
I am an eternal ageless being. So if you're an adult, you can still
you can still fuck your computer screen. Pop open that they got rid of the CD drive, but
they got this new interesting port on the side of the MacBook. Yeah. You can shove your cock into it. So I mean, how hard would it be to say I'm 18?
Yeah,
if you're a kid.
Well, I guess it's connected to your Facebook account.
Oh, God knows that's uncorruptible.
Yeah, you can't lie on that.
Yeah, you couldn't lie on that. Well, speaking of people who can't lie, Trent. We're going to close out. This is our final story of the podcast. Hot pot it's been. This is from the Personal Journal, one of our favorite sections of the Wall Street Journal. Finfluencers. Not an annoying word at all. Also, probably not a word that anyone uses because the Wall Street Journal likes to make up terms.
Yeah, I never heard it.
Finfluencers look for the market edge. Posting financial advice on social and media has become a big business in the past few years. Now comes the test. Now that we're entering the down times. 100 days in.
Yes.
Most people's investments accounts are looking pretty ugly this month.
Yeah.
Jeremy Schneider.
I know mine is.
I know, yeah. Mine,
0.
It's so funny. I looked at my retirement, and it was like, sure, it was down slightly, but I couldn't imagine having enough money to be really upset about it.
Yeah.
To be like, no! I'm like, God, I'm poor.
Yeah.
Didn't affect me at all.
No.
Jeremy Schneider posted a snapshot of his to more than 500,000 Instagram followers. He said he lost $250,000 in the span of 2 days in early April when the stock losses accelerated as President Trump, or 47 as I call him.
Trump, that's what I call him.
Trump, yeah, Cheeto, laid out his tariff policies. It was one more chance for Schneider to tell his followers to look past the volatility and stay invested in the markets. Quote, I wanted to put my face on my page so that people knew I'm still here and the sky's not falling, he said.
No chicken little here.
No chicken little here, Trent. You see, Finfluencers like Schneider are at the peak of their...
That's a fucking perfect name for
for a fucking Finfluencer. He's an asshole. He's an asshole. It's a bullshit job. He's at the peak of his relevance. Many have spent years increasing their followings and building out businesses by putting relatable and emotionally resonant money advice directly in front of people's faces. Now, an uncertain market and economy has people grasping for any advice they can get. If these influencers can meet the moment, they stand to challenge traditional assumptions about who is qualified to give financial advice. You see, for the last few years, these assholes on TikTok have been telling people what to do with their money.
Yes.
Hasn't really mattered because the market's been great.
Right.
Now that we're fucking going into a downturn, we're either going to find out if they're all frauds or not.
It's like that asshole Jim Cramer.
Jim Cramer.
You ever seen that guy? He's like on MSNBC or CNBC.
Oh, yeah, the fucking money talk asshole. Yeah, he's another asshole and a pig. This is great. Schneider had planned to take 2 months off for paternity leave after his son was born in mid-February, but the market beckoned him back.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, his son's born, and he goes, I can't. The market. I gotta get
the
back
market,
on.
honey.
I gotta get back on TikTok.
I need some market.
On March 10th, Schneider posted a video of himself in his car to avoid disturbing his newborn son. Displayed above his head was the text, quote, "Is the big crash coming? What should you do?" Yeah. Let me ignore my newborn son to have fucking clickbait,
Right.
lowest impulse type content. Is the big crash coming?
Yeah.
What should I do?
Yeah.
Let's freak everybody out.
Honey, I'll be in the car.
I have to scare 500,000 people on TikTok. Scare them into watching my video. Unlike financial advisors who charge fees to manage money, Finfluencer, I'm not going to say Finfluencer again. Financial influencers give free advice through snappy social media videos. Yeah, we know that. They build followings among younger investors by translating jargon-filled concepts into everyday language and laying bare their own financial lives. They are sometimes sponsored by companies offering financial products. More than 40% of Americans have considered financial information or advice from social media.
Christ.
According to a recent poll.
I've never seen any people giving financial advice.
My algorithm knows that I'm not moving my money around.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't
Mine's
see him
all
either.
wrestling. It's mine.
Wrestling. Men in tights.
Yeah, John Cena's AI John Cena getting arrested for statutory rape.
Yeah, that's my. It's a lot of John Cena getting arrested for statutory rape. Well, influencers' wide reach has given them insight into Americans' financial anxieties. Nicole Victoria, bitch and bullshit job, has noticed more of her followers were asking whether they had enough saved to weather the potential recession. The 34-year-old former real estate agent has described the downturn as an opportunity, not a crisis. Quote, when recessions happen,
buy the dip.
Assets go on sale, she told her followers. When assets go on sale, you can buy more with less.
Yes, buy the dip.
Don't need a fucking genius to come up with that.
Right, yeah. If you're relying on a TikTok financial influencer, you're probably not that well off.
To tell you that a crisis is an opportunity? Yeah. To buy more? This is probably bad advice. Yeah. What are you going to buy right now? What are you buying?
I don't know.
It's buy. To your fucking 22-year-old girls following you because they don't know how to set up a Roth IRA and they're telling them to buy. They're like, what do I buy? Doesn't matter what it is. Now's the time to do it.
Now's the time. It doesn't matter. Just buy.
Anyway, I hope they all fucking get proven wrong. I hope all of their accounts get taken down and fucking...
Remember that 12 hours where TikTok was shut down?
Oh, God.
Such
I smelled things for the first time. And I smelled like flowers. Dog shit? I haven't smelled dog shit. You know? I could see my retinas kind of came back to me. Yeah.
Wow, those were the days.
I remembered relatives.
Yeah, relatives.
Wow.
Well, I called my grandmother.
Call my grandma. Turns out she'd been dead for 4 years. News to me. Well, that has been this episode of Echo Chamber Podcast. Please rate, review, listen.
Yeah, all that shit.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You got anything else? Plugs?
I think that's it. I'll be in New Jersey at the Dojo of Comedy Saturday. It's episode. I'll be done by then. It comes out on Sunday, so it doesn't matter. That's it. That's the show. As always, this is Trent Mabry signing out.
And this is Joe Nunnink signing off.
Bye-bye.